Hello, I have this cute love Valentine type card to share with you today. It's got some cute sponging around it using Tim Holtz Distress inks, and the image is from Cricut. So the colours I've used are Victorian Velvet and Hickory Smoke. So you're just going to need your blending tool and some thick white cardstock. Mine are cut to 10 by 14 4 centimeters. So it's basically a mat size card piece. I'm starting with the Victorian Velvet and just using my media mat to just pop those onto, and then just blending away. The Distress Oxide inks are amazing, and they will make a blender out of anybody. So I'm just going to go all the way around. We're leaving that centre space. Just keep going around. There's no right or wrong to this, it's just however you want to use them. No two will ever be the same. You can see that white in the middle starts to pop. Time for some spritzing. So I've gone far away, which will give actually a full trigger will give you that fineness, and then slight pull on the trigger with the Distress sprayer will give you some bigger water droplets. And then I'm just going in with my cloth where I've got those bigger droplets and just dabbing them, and then that's where you get those big white splodgy shapes, technical term. Just a little clean. Put the lid back on, and time to go in with the Hickory Smoke. So if you wanted to actually just go direct to the card, you could do that without sponging. You could just add your water and get a different effect again. The same, just all the way around. Add as much or as little as you want. I like what happens as soon as you start to add the Hickory Smoke. It just gives a really cool dimension to it. Sorry, going a little bit off camera, but you get the idea. You can just pick up where you think you want to add a little bit more. It's one of those things where you could go on forever, and the card will keep taking the Distress Oxide. It's an amazing medium to work with. Time to go in with the spritz again. We'll just clean. Same again, fine mist, and then a little bit of droplets again with the heat tool. And you can keep spraying and keep adding mist to it. It'll just build the effect. Into those fine little droplets. I just love the little splash look it gives onto that pink and grey. I'm going to dab in the bigger droplets. Doing a bit of strategic droplet building there. Just let it move on in that corner, just to balance it out. That's me overthinking it. Straighten that out. Give a little clean up. It's going to be time to get our die cutting done on using the Cricut. So just while we get that all cut, that can be, the card can be settling down. So here we are. We're in Cricut Design Space. We're going to hit the new project button. And here we are on our canvas. So we're going to come down to the left hand toolbar. I'm going to select images. Just type in the word love in the search bar. You're going to come up with a ton and ton of different images and phrases using the word love. You're spoilt for choice, really. I don't know how I narrowed it down to one, but I did. Just loved how contemporary it looked. Because you can see there are tons. And there's our image. So cute, I love it. Would look equally good on a mug or a t-shirt. So we've highlighted it and clicked insert. I'm pretty happy with the size. I think it's perfect for a card, so I haven't altered the size at all. Just pop that up into the corner a little bit more. Just to put that straight in my head. And there you go, showing you the mats that are going to be needed. So the first one is going to be my black, and then the darker pink and the lighter pink. So you'll know which cards to load into your Cricut machine. It can be a Cricut Maker or an Expression. So there we go. I happen to have the Maker and it's on Bluetooth, no wires. Yay. Asking me to set the material, which I've done as heavy cardstock. The pressure's fine, and we're good to go. That's it. We are all die cut. I actually used some adhesive, die cutting adhesive sheets on the back of my love sentiment, and that made it a little bit more sturdy because they're quite they're easy to sort of bend out of shape when you're taking it off the mat. Always peel the mat away from the card rather than the card away from the mat, if that makes sense. And then obviously it's very fine, so gluing can be a bit messy, and that cut beautifully. I can't speak for what it will, whether it will build up on your blade or not, but for me, I felt it was really worth it. And then I'm just literally peeling away that die cut adhesive, and I'll link all that in the description below, everything that I've used, and it'll also be on my blog, the measurements and what I've used. So just try and get those last bits off. So it can be just a little bit tricky to place, again, because it is so thin. It tends to it really will show if it's stretched the wrong way. So just give me a moment while I center that and change my mind a few times. See how delicate they are. This is not something to treat roughly. think we're almost at the point where I've made my mind up with how it's going and whether it's straight. There we go. Let's press that down. Oh no, I changed my mind. Now we're good to go. So let's add the rest of our layers. So we've got that darker layer first. Just popping on a little bit of wet glue because it's a small piece. Position that over the top. I love how perfect it all is, the border, everything, it comes out so well. And then the lighter pink, but I'm going to pop that up on some foam pads, just adding another little bit of dimension. Lay that over the top. You can see that darker pink coming through. Oh, I just had a little bit of overlapping foam pad. Scooched that out of the way. See, just pops it up a little bit more. Love that. Now it's time for just to add a little bit of extra bling, and I've got these Papermania black rhinestones, and I don't know how well you can see, but there's a little heart that I'm picking out there. And just putting that straight inside there. Probably easier to do before you add the second layer, but hindsight is a great thing. I was going to pop these on now, but I'm actually going to just put that on to the card base first. So my card base, I've got it so it's going length. I cut it lengthwise. So if you imagine that's a full sheet of A4, you would be putting that on the short side of your trimmer and cutting it at 10.5 centimeters. You're just slicing it in half the lengthways. Add your layer. So again, this card mat measures 10 by 14.4, and the card would be at 10.5 centimeters. So you've got the 0.5 centimeter border. Now we can add those extra bits of extra rhinestones. You could also, on your Cricut design space, you could just take out the rest of the image, leaving just the hearts, and cut just the hearts. You could cut a few more hearts if you wanted to do that, rather than adding rhinestones. So a few extra hearts dotted around would be cute. And that's it. Came together pretty quickly. I think it's got a lovely contemporary feel. I used a stamp just inside there. It's from it's a Stampin'Up Abstract Impressions. I'm not sure if it's a current stamp set, but I just thought the sentiment worked really nicely. There's so much to love about you. So I haven't decided whether I'm going to put that on this second one, so I'm just going to leave that plain at the moment. Because you could use this for anniversary or engagement card, or just because card. It just happens to be almost Valentine's Day, so that was on my mind. There you go. I'd love it if you gave this a go. There's the two